We got some bad news for the MCU. Welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic YOUniverse, guys. I'm your host, as always, C-Dubs, and I'm coming to you guys with some bad news, unfortunately, here on this glorious time of the year, which is San Diego Comic-Con. We unfortunately have some bad news. Even though Disney and Marvel are not there representing how they normally are, we still had a bombshell of news drop here today on the Marvel side of things. James Gunn, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, has been released from his directing duties and writing duties with the company. Basically, he has been fired over some old tweets and posts that he has posted. I don't want to get too much into what exactly he posted. Just know that they were not in good taste, if you will, and sexual in nature, minors and rape and oriented. Now, these were probably somewhere around 5 to 7 years ago, but somebody did some digging, as unfortunately we like to do, and found them. And specifically in their contracts, they all have to uphold this shining, morale, if you will. They have to be this shining glimmer of hope during this time. And a part of me kind of understands, when you are the show, and what I mean by the show, the MCU is the biggest ticket in Hollywood right now, and it has been the biggest ticket in Hollywood for quite some time. So more so than any other franchise, they need to keep this squeaky clean image. They're not looking to derail or have anything derail them. Look how easily the DCEU, if you will, goes under attack for every little thing. So they don't need any bad publicity, if you will. So part of me understands. It really, as a fan, it sucks. Because this isn't just like he's created a movie. He created a world, a section of this universe, which we call the MCU. He has helped create that, if you will, right next to the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and a big part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, in effect, even the whole fact of Thanos, everything space-oriented automatically gears towards the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he has helped kind of design this. So it really does suck that he's not going to be there to kind of moving forward with the MCU. So what does this mean for Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Well, though nothing has officially been confirmed, he does have some credits to the writing of the script as well. So I would say that it would be safe to imagine that this movie is going to be held off for a little while till they kind of figure out what they want to do. They kind of maybe want to analyze it a little more, see if having his name on the credits in that regard is still okay, which most likely, knowing them, they may actually scrap it all together. They were getting ready to start post-production here soon. They were supposed to have everything kind of going by the end of the year in terms of recording and things like that for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And unfortunately, this throws a huge monkey wrench, I'm sure, in the MCU's plans. Now, they have a slew of directors that could easily kind of pick up where he left off, if you will. But when it comes to that writing credit, that could mean a scrapping of the script and having a whole new script, or going with a whole new script. Now, if they had 2 or 3, or so that they were kind of on the fence with, and they just kind of chose one over the other, this may not be a problem, but we don't know that for sure. So the odds are they are going to have to scrap it all together, which is kind of sad. It really is. I would like to see his vision at least finished. At least for the third one, I'm hoping they just suck it up, leave his name on the credits in the credits in terms of co-writing of the script, if you will, and we just get a whole new director. Now, true, a director's vision can change the film, but we have a better chance of it staying true to its core, if the script is still the same. This really does kind of damper the weekend for me. I'm a huge fan of this franchise, and they've done a really good deal. They've done a really good job at creating this whole space opera mythos, if you will. The last movie, I'll be honest, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, man, I cried. I'm a grown-ass man, and I cried at the the Yondu scene. And if you didn't get misty eyed or even feel it inside, man, then you're just dead inside in that regard. Regardless of how forthcoming it was, if anyone's seen that part coming, it still was kind of touching, to see the colors and whatnot, and for him to say that he was he was his daddy. But I guess there is some silver lining to it. He was a guy, a director that wasn't really all that big on Nova, the Nova Corps or writer or anything like that. So he's kind of held off on actually kind of doing more with them. So this may kind of help bring them into the fold, which is kind of cool. This also could mean that we get Adam Warlock sooner rather than later, because it was basically already official that he wasn't going to be in a third one. So if they do scrap it and they have to go back to the drawing board, or if there was another script with Adam Warlock in it, we could be getting Adam Warlocks again sooner rather than later, which is a plus as well. But unfortunately, losing one of the, pathfinders of this and blueprint creators, if you will, of the MCU is kind of a sad thing. I'm hoping that Disney will realize that this is something in the past. He has grown as a person. 5 to 7 years, that's a long time. And if they were said in a joke, now, mind you, a joke, could be in bad taste and in poor taste. But again, if they were, depending on how they were phrased or how they were actually said or meant, could be a whole nother thing. To be honest with you, it's like if they decided all of a sudden to fire Robert Downey Jr. for his past mistakes, the drugs and the liquor and the arrests. Those were in his past, but look at what he's done for you now. So I'm hoping maybe they can get past that or just figure it out, and maybe we'll get some good news that he's being brought back on. It's very sad that in this day and age that we, as fans and even non-fans, just kind of go out to try to sabotage, because I'm pretty sure that's how this was actually founded. Somebody resurfaced some old tweets of his and they just kind of stuck it to him, and it kind of sucks. And it, it's probably, and again, I don't want to accuse anybody of any fandom, but we have those extremists that only like one or the other, and you know what I'm talking about in terms of comics. And they just refuse to like or see the other succeed. And it may have been one of those guys, And it just really sucks if that was the case, that, one bad apple can spoil it for everybody. But I have faith in the MCU. I have faith in Disney that they will rebound from this. And hopefully we will still get a good movie. I remember all the shenanigans that went on with the first Ant-Man movie. And ultimately, it still came out to be a pretty good movie. And the sequel's just as good, in my opinion. I know not everybody liked it as much, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, and that's kind of what I go see Ant-Man for, is the fun factor and the quips and things like that. I leave my serious tone more so for the Captain Americas and so forth and so on with the Avengers. But, I have a feeling that we'll be okay. This is probably their second or third biggest franchise. Black Panther kind of messes things up a bit. He made so much money that, granted, he may not be a franchise yet, but, he's definitely going to be. So it is kind of sad to see James Gunn go, but, I'm crossing my fingers that we either kind of stick with the script, or maybe he comes back, or maybe we kind of get a director who kind of already understands the fold, that has already been involved in some MCU productions, that kind of understands the way it's supposed to go. Plus, in Feige we trust. He's going to keep probably an even closer niche eye on this film to make sure that it just doesn't go way off in left field. So Universe guys, what do you guys think about this? Are you guys excited? Are you happy that he's gone? I would hope that you guys aren't. Are you sad? If you were going to pick a director, whether it be from the MCU or outside of the MCU, who would you want to see direct this movie? It would be kind of funny if we got George Lucas to come in and do it. They randomly just popped in my head. How funny would that be if he joined on to be a part of another space opera? That would be really unique, and I think it would make the movie a ton more money, regardless of how the end would be, if it would be worth it or good or anything like that. But it would be kind of interesting to see. Well, guys, until next time, I guess just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on the video, guys. And until next time, we'll see you in the universe. Peace.